Hello, my name is PAM WAWEE, and I'm going to tell you my testimony today. The title of my testimony is I Left God, and I'm so thankful that He took me back. The reason that I want to share this with you is because I want to glorify God. That's why we're doing this. And I hope and pray that now or sometime in the future this may touch someone that could be ministered to by this. I was born with a genetic blood disease, and as a result of this disease, I was in great pain all of the time. Because of my constant pain at an early age, I began to resent God for allowing me to be born that way. It's an understatement to say that I developed a bad attitude about life in general, starting at a very young age. At the age of 2, I remember being in pain from the age of 2 to now, to current. Although my mom and dad took me to the doctor a lot, they could never figure out what was wrong with me, and I was in terrible, terrible pain. So they never could figure out what was specifically wrong with me, and we all struggled a lot because I had a serious health problem, and it was not easy for them or for me. As I was growing up with this bad attitude that I had, I went to grade school and high school, but I was 2 years behind altogether, but I did graduate. I was 2 years late graduating. I was old. Yet my resentment against God kept festering because of my pain, and I grew to resent having God being forced on me, or so that's the way I felt. Deep inside, I began to like God less and less. I went to the doctors a lot when I was younger, a lot. And I went to orthopedic surgeons, I went to neurologists, I've been to internists. And from my pain, basically my pain was in all the joints, but my back was quite bad, my lower back. So every time I went, they gave me pain shots all the time. I had so many shots that I built up some scar tissue in my back. So they had to stop giving me those shots. So I went through that much of my life that I remember. Everybody thought that at a young age, the doctors didn't give me much hope for life. They said if I was going to live to be 30, that I would be fortunate. And so in my young adulthood, I was able to gain some employment. I graduated from school at 19, and I was able to walk down the aisle with my brother. He was 17 on my mom's birthday. And so I was very happy I'm glad the Lord had His hand on me back then, even though I didn't realize it then. And I made it through high school. Now, when I was 19, I became very independent. I'm the oldest of 3. And so I did a lot to be like a leader. My mom and dad taught me how to be a leader. And of course, God did too. And but I wasn't listening to God then. You know, I didn't want to hear what He had to say, and I didn't want to hear what my mom and dad had to say. So from age 18 to about 26, I decided that I was going to do things on my own. And I said, you know, I've followed God all this time, went to church every Sunday with my mom and dad, and we prayed and read and sang all the time, and I'm still sick and I still have this terrible pain. Well, I was able to be gainfully employed at Holland American Wafer Company. I was there for 8 years, and then I quit there to improve myself financially, and I was employed at Westinghouse. At the time, it was Westinghouse Furniture Systems, and I was there for 25 years. And I was in pain all the time, but I took pain meds, and pain meds back then for me were like Tylenol, or Tylenol with codeine or whatever, because I was also getting these shots that were horrible. And I just kept on going. And when I was first employed at Westinghouse, I decided to leave God for a worldly lifestyle of sinful pleasure. And I'm not proud of that, but I just say that because I want you to go with me through this journey here. I had made friends with the wrong crowd. Although I didn't care much what God thought about me then, and that's what resentment can do. You, that's what resentment against God will ultimately do to a person, you know. And so while I was working at Westinghouse, I made a friend through high school, and her name was Pat Delaney, and she's a good friend, and she was very shy and quiet, and we decided to get an apartment because I'd spend a lot of time at her house, and she'd come over to my house, and our families actually knew one another, and everybody used to help out in the community because they lived a couple blocks from where I lived. So Pat and I became just good, normal friends, and so we got an apartment. She was very shy and quiet. And while I was working at Westinghouse, like I said, I'd gone the wrong way. I decided to leave God, and I made the wrong choice. I know that now, but then I thought I knew everything, you know. I was going to go out and sow my wild oats. Well, Pat and I were living together, and she had no interest in partying the way I was. I used to go out after work. I worked second shift at Westinghouse, and we would go out after work and play pool and drink and smoke cigarettes. And we would do that either at the bar or at somebody's home. Basically, it was somebody's home, clear on the other side of town. And at the time, I thought I was having fun. But the seed of rebellion was really blossoming into full bloom then. And but I didn't care, and I didn't realize it then.